ease the load. On today's show, we're going to be looking at schemes designed to improve staff well-being and schools' relationships between parents and pupils.
Our first C stands for communicate, which this Lancashire school does regularly by using an electronic questionnaire to find out how the staff are feeling. Connect is our second C, as we visit a high school in Stoke-on-Trent that has transformed the attitude of parents to the work it's doing. Finally, C for commit, and a scheme which places voluntary reading mentors in primary schools to help pupils who need that extra little bit of support.
Briarfield Water Street Primary School in Nelson is one of the first in the country to take part in a new initiative run by Work-Life Support, part of the Teacher Support Network. The programme is designed to assess the well-being of all school staff by means of a continually evolving audit.
This yoga class is just one of the outcomes of an emotional audit at Walter Street Primary School.
The idea is that all the staff within a school complete a computerised self-review, which is the emotional audit, every year. And that audit asks the staff questions about how they're involved in the life of the school, deals with issues about communication, how they feel valued, how they're able to deal with change in the school, work-life balance. And then that information is collated and presented back to the school by the staff who run the wellbeing programme.
The Wellbeing programme was introduced to a number of schools in Lancashire 4 years ago.
It was seen as a way of helping organisations to look at the potential problems, potential issues, the potential stressors for staff, and rather than wait until things started to go wrong and then try and kind of pick up the pieces afterwards, it was a much more proactive intervention. Part of my role is to come into school with the information from the audit and to meet with the facilitators and the head, and we look at it together and we talk about what it means.
It's not a magic wand, and if there's marking to do and assessment and all the rest of it to do, then that needs to be done, and wellbeing won't make that go away. But what it will do is open channels of communication really for people to say, look, I'm really struggling with this, I need some help or I need some time. We've got an ironing service in place where staff can come and bring their ironing on a Monday and take it home again on Monday evening. At the moment I'm running just a taster class for yoga sessions. We've got a car valeting service in place.
I'm the site supervisor for Walter Street School. My main role is to keep the building secure and keep a team of cleaners doing a very good job that we have in the building. I do a car valeting service for the staff, keep the staff as happy as I can. I only charge a minimal hourly rate. A lot of the staff are really grateful of the work I'm doing, and they say it's at a good standard and it saves them a lot of time. When they've got their time off, they don't need to worry about cleaning their own cars, have more spare time for themselves.
There's been quite a lot of benefits. I think one of the lovely things to come out of it is that we've celebrated the team that we have in school and how we all feel really valued, whether you're a leader in the school or whether you're a cleaner. It doesn't matter what your role is, we all feel very equal and very valued. Another real benefit has been the services, obviously, that school now provides, because that helps your weekends to be for you instead of lots of jobs that you've got to get through, so it improves your well-being.
I tend to do the yoga class on a Friday, which after a hard week at work, when stress levels can be pretty high, the yoga just helps you to totally switch off. It gives you time just to be still, calms you down, helps you to touch base, and you just go home feeling totally at peace and at one again. You don't take out all the stress on your family, and you're ready for your weekend.
For people like the school cook and some of the welfare staff at lunchtimes, it was a major experience for them just to actually be able to use and have access to a computer. That in itself has reaped very positive benefits, because those staff now feel that they've started to learn a skill that previously they'd never had.
The wellbeing audit in its first year, when it was a pilot, was excellent, but I do think it should be basic to life in schools. We're all very concerned about children, teachers, support staff, about the wellbeing of children, and that's what we're here for. But I think the wellbeing of staff is just as important, and a happy staff is happy children.
I think it's been very valuable in terms of involving people in the life of the school and enabling them to realise that they are valued as individuals and their work is valued.
raising awareness amongst parents has dramatically transformed their attitudes towards the work of Mitchell High School in Stoke-on-Trent. I met up with their head teacher, Debbie Sanderson, and she explains more.
So can you explain what the parental involvement strategy is?
I think rather than being a strategy, it's more about a way of living and a philosophy and a belief about a culture, about what actually influences young people, 11 to 16-year-olds here, and what actually enhances their learning. And if you're actually going to get young people to optimum learning level, then you've got to actually have their parents on board by actually opening the doors, being transparent and actually saying to parents, come and work with us. Come and see for yourself what your daughter or your son can be like in an educational setting. Because they're little angels at home. Sit them in a classroom environment and they can be quite different. And I think for some parents it's been quite a shocking experience to actually sit in the classroom and say, my son did that or said that. And suddenly we're on the same side and we're working together to increase those social skills and the emotional maturity of those young people. The school had a poor reputation and that meant that it was judged very harshly. What we've done by involving parents is just given them a new lease in life.
Donna Sherwin is a former frustrated parent who is now working at the school. So Donna, can you explain then what your views were towards the school and towards teachers before you got involved with the parental partnership?
Very negative. Didn't believe anything that come out of the teacher's mouth. It was just constantly phoning me all the time. They've done this, they've done that. And when, like I said, when you don't see your children misbehaving at home, you think that's how they are all the time. I got called one day to see if I'd like to come in as a parent and learn alongside the children. I was at that stage, I wanted to know myself if it was true about my children, if they were misbehaving. So I did. I got invited round to look around other classes where my twin boys were, and I happened to see them, you know, just playing up horrendously. It was shocking. I couldn't believe that they were my boys. The teachers were doing their job as best as they could, and having children like that in the room, it was so hard for them. They must have been going home so frustrated that they couldn't do their job right because of these children and their lessons. I'm a learning mentor in school now. I've done that for 12 months because I was on board with the teachers, and the teachers were with my children. They progressed and they've done really, really well.
A lot of the kids in this school are quite disaffected, so having the parents involved has completely changed that, and they now want to get the results, they now want to get GCSEs, they want to get good SATs results, and they're taking work home, and their parents are now able to help because they've been in the lessons. It's really changed the relationship I have with the kids. The kids really like having the parents in.
The staff are far more positive because the relationships with parents at home are far more positive. That means you're not fighting an endless battle, basically. If you need some support, you can phone home and say, you know, hi, it's whoever, and we've got a bit of a problem today, can you give us a hand? And it's much more forthcoming than it was in the past.
The benefits are not just about education.
How's it benefited you? It's made me self-esteem better, more confident. I can be assertive when I want to now. I just like having the involvement with the children and helping them. I love helping them.
You've got a child in the school?
Yeah.
Was that any problem or?
No, I thought she might have been, oh no, I don't want you working in the school, or it's going to be really embarrassing. But she actually said, yeah, go for it, Mum. It's helping her with her education, and I can see how important it is.
It certainly helped me as a head teacher because a lot of my role would have been about profiling the school, marketing the school. As I said, we didn't have a great reputation, and I had to change that. And parents who live on the estate, who are in school day in and day out, who see it warts and all, you know, the good bits and the not so good bits, can go home and say quite honestly to parents, wow, you should see some of the stuff that's actually happening in those classrooms, you really ought to go and have a look. So I can't actually see any losers in this at all.
I'm a primary school teacher, and I know that sometimes there are pupils that need special help with reading. Middle Row Primary School in London is using a national charity to help.
For more than 30 years, children like Yara and Rakeem have benefited from reading assistance at school.
Brilliant. Volunteer Reading Help is a charity which recruits, trains and supports volunteers from the local community to go into primary schools to give one-to-one support to children who need extra confidence, extra practice, extra support with their reading.
Middle Row Primary School has received help from this charity for over 20 years.
It's a very multi-ethnic school and it reflects the local community. So we've got children from a number of different countries. Now over 50% of the children have English as a second language. We tend to target children who are reading, but we think could potentially read much better and would benefit from regular reading.
We tend to use the volunteers for a 2-year period, usually when they're in year 3 and 4. We find this is the best years really for them to do it because the children are keen to go. The volunteer always works with the child out of the classroom. They never work within the classroom. It's to establish this sort of special relationship. These volunteers are any age. It's good for the children to meet all different people in all different walks of life.
The reason I became a volunteer for this particular charity is that I'm German-Belgian by nationality and I moved to America when I was a child, and so I needed a lot of help with reading and language issues, etc. Very quickly I found that I learnt the language and could read better, and I just thought it'd be really nice to help somebody else, you know, learn to read and actually enjoy reading. I'm a freelance journalist. So when I'm in London, I try and come regularly.
My name's Emma Collins and I work for Hay House Publishers. I sell foreign translation rights and do general admin at the Hay House office. I work in publishing and obviously I'm surrounded by books all the time and I know the sort of enjoyment you can get. I just wanted to be able to help pass that on to other kids. I did ask if the children minded being taken out of class because I thought it might stigmatise them a bit, but apparently they absolutely love leaving class to join and they feel very special and they actually like it.
And teachers appreciate the support too.
It does ease the load in the fact that if I would have to read or listen to every child read and give them a one-to-one support every single day, there's not enough hours in the day to do that as well as teach. It is worth it in the long run for the kids. They do need the extra support.
All our volunteers come to school. They've been specially selected. We're very careful about who we select and train to be a volunteer. So they've all been very carefully selected. They've all had a CRB check done. They've all been trained in how children learn to read and the approaches that they can use to support children with their reading.
I would recommend volunteer reading help to anyone who's interested in doing any voluntary work, and it's really rewarding for the child and for you.
I feel much more part of the community because I have no family here. And London is a very self-centred town and I'm just sort of trying to do something nice and good.
I would definitely recommend this service as being something which is worth having within the school. It's brought a lot of pleasure to a lot of children, and also trying to make them literate for life is a vital tool.
That's it for this week. Remember to check out our website at www.teachers.tv for lots more information. And if you need any advice or help, you can call the Teacher Support Line free 24 hours a day on 08000 562 561. So until next time, goodbye for now.
If you've got any load-easing ideas to share, then please contact us here at www.teachers.tv/ease the load.